Hi, Will. Nice
Hi
to meet
there.
you. Nice
You
to
too.
meet you.
You
How was
too.
your time been during the pandemic?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Really?
I was the same as everybody's. It was not great.
Hmm. Well, my first question is, what is your first memory of Peter Rabbit?
Of the movie?
No,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no.
oh, oh, oh. The reason why that I made these movies is because my father used to read these books to me when I was a kid. And I
Mhm.
think the reason now we realize why he liked it so much is because his name is Peter. So when he was a kid, he loved reading Peter Rabbit because his name was Peter and he didn't read very many books. So the books he did read is the ones he read to me. And I used to love reading Peter Rabbit books when I was a kid. So if my dad's name wasn't Peter, I don't think I would have made these movies. But I fell in love with them when he read them to me.
Wow. What do you like most? Writing, directing, or producing?
I like doing them all together.
Okay.
If I know I'm making a movie, I love writing to direct the movie, and I love producing it while I'm making it. Um, when I get involved in something that I'm doing, I get obsessed with it. So I do all the different parts of it. So I like them. I like, as long as I know we're making the movie, I like doing all of it. It's not fun to write when you're not going to make the movie, or to try to produce when you're not making the movie. So once you're making it, it's fun to do everything.
This is a personal question because I have curious. What merch from Peter Rabbit or any prop of the movie you have at home?
It's a great question. So in our house in Los Angeles,
Yes.
I have the gate, the real gate from the garden that Peter goes underneath in both
Yes.
movies. I flew it down from Australia, and sits in our yard.
Wow.
Yes,
I need
just by
to see
itself.
that. I want
Yes.
to see that someday, of course. How many people work in the film?
Oh, with I think when the actual production, the physical production, I think it's something like over 300. But then for the animators, it's thousands. So at the end of the day, it's probably there's a picture taken from the second Peter Rabbit of everyone, and it must be 1,200 people,
Wow.
many people. Yes, because it's so complicated to do all this animation, as you can imagine.
After writing the story, what is the first things to do? Film, record voices, or animate?
The first thing to do is to do what's called an animatic, which is
Mm,
basically just drawings of the movie. And
okay.
then we do drawings of the movie, and then we do the voices for it with the real actors. And then we edit it together, make sure it looks kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Then we film it, and then we change everything.
Okay.
And nothing that we did beforehand stays. It's all new, but at least we went off thinking that we knew what we were doing.
Okay, interesting. How do you directing? Oh, do you direct James Corden, Margot Robbie, Elizabeth Debicki?
How
Yes.
they're all great actors, they're all great people, and it's a lot of fun because we try to come up with different ideas while we record. So we do what we're supposed to do, and then we try different things, and then if we like it, we go back and change it again. So it's a very kind of fluid and fun, and everyone wants, every time, everyone, no matter how busy they are, when they get to do voice recorded for this movie, they're all having fun because they get to play rabbits.
Mhm. One of my favorite scenes is the fight in the wedding.
Yes.
How much time it took to make?
So that took about 6 days to film.
Wow.
And there was a lot more that we cut out, huge stunts with cranes and everything that we cut out, which was quite a shock to the actors when they showed them the movie,
Mm.
because they trained for a specific stunt. Both Rose Byrne and Donald Gleason trained many weeks for a particular stunt, and we did this stunt, and we did it. It took 2 days to film, and we cut it.
I
So
love
it
this.
took a long time.
I love this part. How was it work with David in this movie?
David was great. He was fun. He loved it. He has 4 kids too, so he was doing it for his
Mm.
kids. He loved the first movie. Um, he was fun to see him be funny. He's not often funny in movies, so it was fun to see him play. He's very funny. So everyone got along great, and we had those are some of the best times when he was on set.
Everyone has a favorite character. which is yours? Peter or Benjamin or Flopsy, Mopsy or Cotton Trail?
I have to say it's Peter. Peter is my favorite character
Yes,
by far. Yes.
I love Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin's cute.
One of
Yeah.
my son is Benjamin too, and of
Oh,
course I.
well, that's why. Yes.
Yes. After months of delay due to the pandemic, the movie will release. Will we see Peter Rabbit in another movie?
We have started planning Peter Rabbit 3. So
Okay.
depending on how well this does, we do hope to make the third one. Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the soundtrack of the movie. I can't stop to laugh when the Boulevard in Broken Dreams.
Mhm.
I begin to laugh and I can't stop because it's fantastic. And in the two movies, it's really good soundtrack. Tell me who choose the music.
Music is always a big part of all my movies. I can't really edit the movie until I know what kind of sounds it's going to be. So we have a great composer and we have a music supervisor that I work very closely with named Wendy Crowley. And from the very beginning, we kind of have a sense of what songs we want to do. But this one has to be a little different because if you notice, he actually sings the song. So when you have a character singing the song, especially an animated character that takes weeks and months to do it, we have to kind of set early on what songs are going to be in it. So early on in the filming of it, Wendy and I had kind of figured out what songs we wanted.
How did you think of making the twist to Peter the Bad Seed?
Patrick Burley, who wrote the movie with me, before we started writing it, we always started talking about what it should be about. And Patrick, when he was a kid, was the bad seed. And this is, so it was kind of personal to him. And once we kind of realized he was the bad seed and how it affected him, we kind of went from there.
What's your favorite scene in this movie?
I always put my father in every one of my movies, every one of them in a different role. And he has a speaking part. Yep. In every single one. So I always say that that's my favorite scene in the movie when my dad was in it. And he always has a speaking part. He's not an actor. And it's the most terrifying day on set when he shows up because I'm so nervous. But it's that scene.
Oh, nice. It's lovely. I love the fun facts. And I want to you share with me a fun fact for this movie.
A fun fact for that movie.
Yes.
Let's see. Fun fact for that movie. I think the hardest part of that movie, the funnest fact, is that there were so many paparazzi around that movie. Because Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, that whenever we did these huge dance numbers, there were so many paparazzi on the street because we shot it in New York City, and people that when we did the music numbers after, even the paparazzi were singing the songs. And I remember one time after we wrapped, I was going back home, I was following some photographers and they were humming the song that they had to sit through for the whole day. And I thought that was fun.
Okay. For this movie, it's one of my favorites.
That one. I think, let's see, a fun fact. In the shower scene, when they took a quick shower, they had no hot water, and it was a studio. There's no hot water, so it was ice cold water, and for about 3 hours, Justin had to have ice cold water poured on top of him. And there was a couple times that Mila and I both knew that the scene was over, but we didn't tell Justin because we just wanted to see him get colder.
Bad boy, bad seed, and of course,
yes. Peter Rabbit. See, a fun fact about Peter Rabbit. Let's see. A fun fact about that one. Well, I guess the fun fact is that it's not that fun a fact, but in shooting the first movie, it was, 41, 42 degrees Celsius. I think that's what it was. What is that? Is that hot? That's hot, right?
Yes.
Yes. It was very, 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 very hot during the scene that we shot old Mr. McGregor, played by Sam Neill. And it was so hot that we had to build an air conditioner into his costume because he had this big costume. So while everyone else was just dying underneath, he was out in the sun, walking around, having fun and singing and dancing because he literally had an air conditioning unit in his back, cooling him down the whole time.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And of course, take care. And
too.
good luck in all your future projects and the platforms and movie. And thank you so much for this, for having me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.